Then draw out.
Shouldn't have did that.
Yeah. It's for the grown and sexy. Listen.
Lady, I'm ready. Said I'm searching. Lady, I'm ready. I need a love face like till I'm finished. I won't stop till I find my lady. Is she you? Sick and tired of wondering.
Yeah. How y'all doing tonight? One more time, we back at it. You know what I mean? Once again, show sponsored by D-Mize Music. Check my boy out. We're gonna have more music. Keep saying that, but we're gonna have more music. Talk to Cuz today. In the future that you guys can get a hold of. With that being said, I'd like to welcome y'all to Gates Open Warner Media Group, where I try to go live Monday through Friday. Trying to get my time down. I'm a little better than yesterday. Well, it's 11 o'clock right now. After this broadcast, going to hit the gym. You know, I'll do what I do, but that's what we're doing. Before we get started, also, we got to check these guys out over that Sit and Politic podcast. Sit and Politic podcast, ran by Big Baby. I almost said Big Pop again. But anyway, those guys over there helped me start my channel. We're always collabing. I call him if I need any help, any advice, anything like that. And as you can see, we're slowly getting better. Just stick with us. Also, you know, go over there and support my channel. Go there and support my channel, man, if you want to see bigger, better things. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a movement, create a movement. Gates Open Warner Media Group. Check me out on YouTube. Gates Open Warner Media Group. I know it's a mouthful, but it's worth it. And with that being said, we're going to jump right on into the topic. Brian Flores. As we know, we talked about him yesterday, I believe, also a couple of times here on this channel. But as you know, he was fired from the Dolphins. Looked like the Dolphins was on the uprise. Dolphins are on the uprise, and they decided to fire him. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think he should have been fired. A lot of people think it doesn't matter. Most people, let me get a drink here. Hold up. Let me get a little drink here. Man. But yeah, most people think that he shouldn't have been fired. Obviously, he was fired, but it is what it is at this point. So now the news is now he's actually trying to sue. He added to his lawsuit and included the Houston Texans in the lawsuit. I have a little article here, and anyway, let me read this right quick. Mr. Flores is happy to hear. Oh, they hired Lovie Smith, by the way. Happy to hear that Texans have hired Black head coach Lovie Smith, as Mr. Flores' goal is to bring his case to prove real opportunities for Black and minority candidates to be considered for head coaching and executive position within the NFL, they said in a statement. However, we would be remiss not to mention that Mr. Flores was one of 3 finalists for the head coaching position. And after great interview and mutual interest, that's important, mutual interest, it is obvious that the only reason Mr. Flores was not selected was his decision to stand up against racial inequality across the NFL. And those are quotes. So, let me pull that back up right quick. Sorry about that. So my opinion, and what was interesting, it said mutual interest. So at this point, the dog is playing with the toy. But that's what happened when you go live. You know, things happen. It's all good though. We're gonna skip right through it. Hopefully put the toy down though. But anyway, it said it was mutual interest. How do his camp, Brian Flores' camp, actually know that was mutual interest? They may have just been saying that just to be saying it. What I was about to say. Man, I lost my train of thought. But they ended up hiring Lovie Smith. So you go hire Lovie Smith, is this, my question is this kind of counterproductive? You now hire Lovie Smith, who's a black, experienced Super Bowl. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he went to the Super Bowl. Head coach. Does it seem a little off? Why would you then add them to the lawsuit? They didn't hire you, but they did hire another minority coach, Lovie Smith, who has years of experience. He was taught under Tony Dungy, and he got years of experience. Been to a Super Bowl. Coached the Bears to the Super Bowl. Ended up coaching the Bucks. Then he went to college, coached Illinois, and now he's back into the NFL. And I believe he was already on that coaching staff there at Texas with the Texans. So to me, that's kind of you kind of messing up your point when you add them to the mix, because you're saying that you had a mutual interest. Maybe they did have a mutual interest. Who knows? I don't know. But what I am saying is that when if they would have hired Josh McCown, and then they would have had a problem. I mean, guy just got out the league and now he's a head coach all of a sudden, and a white guy at that point. But the fact that they hired Lovie Smith, somebody who's been in the organization, correct me if I'm wrong, and someone, hold up. Yeah, someone who's been in the organization, someone who's been to a Super Bowl, someone who's has a coaching pedigree. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, if they would have hired Josh McCown or anybody else, it'll make perfect sense. But the fact that they hired Lovie doesn't make any sense. And then how are you going to prove that they were truly interested? Of course, they can say, "Hey, we're interested in you," da 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 da, but that don't mean that they're interested in you. Seriously, they're gonna say, "Hey, I'm interested in you," just like anybody else on any job. I mean, literally, I was given a job, twice. That this has happened to me. Given the job, and then I didn't have the job anymore. You know what I mean? So there was definitely interest, but that ended up not happening. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I call it a counterproductive lawsuit against the NFL. It is what it is, but against the Texans, I don't see it. Even if they thought Brian Flores was the better coach, they could have thought he was the better coach, but I don't think, unless he can get some private emails or with all this stuff going on, text messages or something like that. So we'll have to look and wait for the news to see what comes out about that. If anything changes. Next, you got to talk about them Lakers a little bit. Not much. Let's talk about them Lakers. So reports say, obviously we just passed the trade deadline a few days ago, and reports are saying that the Lakers wanted to get Dennis Schroeder. If you remember, last year he was on the Lakers and he did not take a deal. I think it was like $84 million for 4 or 5 years, somewhere around there. And he thought he was worth more. He wanted $100 million. So needless to say, he didn't get that. And then he wanted to test the markets and all this. Ended up with the Celtics, and he was only making like $9 million. And he's not the greatest point guard in the world, but I will say, if you look at today's contracts in the NBA, he's definitely worth more than that, I will say. But anyway, the Lakers tried to get him, and they were going to give up. Who was it? The Celtics wanted THT, Kendrick Nunn, and a first-round draft pick. And the Lakers said no. Once again, they wanted THT, which we've seen, in my opinion, his stock has dropped this whole entire year. So I don't know why the Lakers are holding on to him. As a matter of fact, Kendrick Nunn, I don't believe, played all year. He played with the Miami Heat when they went to the finals in the bubble. But I don't think Kendrick Nunn has played all year, and THT's stock has fallen. But I guess they're trying to protect that draft pick. So what that means to me, what that really says to me is the Lakers are done for the season. They're obviously they're not trying to get any better. Um, I think they were also at one point looking at I can't think of the guy's name, but anyway, they didn't get him. Um, so I think the Lakers are saying, look, LeBron, you ain't running the show no more. We're gonna take this thing back over and we're gonna run the show because that's what we do. Instead of LeBron the GM, you're gonna be an actual player. And I don't think I think the Lakers are just pretty much done. I think they're done. LeBron will be there next year. Russ will be there next year, unless some kind of way they can get off of him. I believe they'll try to get off of him by trade deadline of next season. I don't think it'll be because he's getting paid $47 million next year. So whatever y'all think about Russ, I don't think it's nowhere close to all Russ' fault. You got Anthony Davis, who stays hurt. And to me, that was a questionable move from the get-go. I said, yes, it'll be great if he can stay on the floor. Like they say, the best ability is availability. And he's been hurt all the time. Pairing up with LeBron, I think we're seeing a lot about AD this year. And I don't think AD is I don't think he's what we thought he was. I don't think he is what we thought he was, or less. But I don't understand why he would play so terrible. He hasn't been playing decent. He had a couple nice games when he came back from injury, but he hasn't been playing real good here lately. I think they're done with LeBron, pretty much, of him actually trying to lead the team and be the GM of the team and try to put all these deals together. I think that's done, actually. I don't see LeBron winning any chips. I'm not saying he's not going to win another championship, but I don't think he'll win a championship as the main guy. As the main, that number one. He might be a number 2 or 3 or something like that, but I don't see him being a number 1 on a championship team anymore. And I think the Lakers are actually seeing that now. But LeBron does put butts in the seats, so they're going to make money. They're definitely going to make money because LeBron's going to have them. People are going to watch and people are going to come to the games. But I think that's it. He's gotten rid of all of their talent, the young talent that they had, something that they can actually build off of, something they can actually make trades for. Right now they don't have anything they can make trades for. It's simple as that. And then in the beginning of the season, well, before the season began, they wanted to get Buddy Hield. They had him signed ready to go to the Lakers. But no, LeBron said he wanted to get Russell Westbrook. So Westbrook comes over 2 months into the season. Allegedly, they wanted to trade him for Buddy Hield. That didn't happen because allegedly they were saying that Sacramento was like, okay, we'll make this deal, and then pull the deal right there at the end, just to be savagery. Be savagery, that don't make any sense. Just to throw shade back at him, so to speak, because they had a deal for him in the beginning of the season, and then the Lakers pulled the trigger and got Russ instead of Buddy Hield. So I think at the end of the day, and that was based off LeBron. Now those are facts. You can go back and look it up. It's on tape, all that stuff. So LeBron decided he wanted to get Russ. I guess he thought he could play with Russ, and I think he wanted to prove that he could win a championship with Russ, and KD couldn't. And I think he would have tried to make that part of his legacy to say that he was the greatest player of all time, which obviously I don't believe. And he ain't even in my top 10. Matter of fact, we're going to have a discussion about that. LeBron ain't even in my top 10. Y'all going to see I'm hating, but it is what it is. So that being said, just to round that back up, the Lakers tried to get Dennis Schroeder in the trade. And the Celtics wanted THT, Kendrick Nunn, and a draft pick. But from reports from what I'm hearing, the Lakers allegedly just don't want to give up that first round draft pick. And guess it is what it is. But I think with that being said, they don't want to give it that first round draft pick because it's going to drain them completely. Then they don't have any leverage at that point. And I think THT stock has been going down Which if I was the Lakers, I think I would have made that trade. I think I would have made that trade. Get Schroeder for the rest of this year. See what else he's going to produce. See if we can sign him to a long-term deal. Because THT's stock is currently falling. Kendrick, no, we don't know what we're going to get out of him because he hasn't played all year. He's a good shooter. But what else are we going to get? How is he going to work with LeBron and the rest of the team? We don't know in that draft pick. I think I would have pulled the trigger. And let me see. Let me think. You know what? I wouldn't have pulled the trigger. I wouldn't have did it. Probably good the Lakers didn't. I don't think I would have did. I'm gonna take that back. I wouldn't have did it because I want to protect that. Well, man, I don't know, 50-50. Because in the NBA, it's so hard to hit sometimes. It's difficult to hit on a player, especially out the draft. Like the NFL, you can more so hit. You almost know what you're gonna get. But when it comes to the NBA, yeah, it's hit or miss. So I don't know. I think I would have flipped the coin and tried to figure it out. Or, they know more ins and outs of their team and the draft picks that they do have in the future and different things like that I don't know. So that probably played into their decision. But I think Dennis would have gave them more energy. No, I wouldn't have made the trade. I'll take that back. Nope, I wouldn't have made it because they got Russ. That gives them a lot of energy. Schroeder is younger, so he's going to give them some defensive energy. But the problem is with them is they don't need a fast-paced offense. They need to slow the pace down to be more successful. LeBron, I mean, yeah, you can run up and down the court a couple of times, a couple fast breaks here and there. But for the most part, no, LeBron got to slow the pace down. That's if you go back and look at LeBron's championship years, and even when he made it to the finals, didn't win, he always slowed the pace down. Why you slow the pace down? One, he's older, but two, so you can control the flow of the game and not just come down, jack up a shot, and make or miss. Then they just running back down the other side of the court. But it's to preserve yourself, so you can make it through the rest of the game. But if y'all go back and look at some of LeBron's finals, if anything, finals, playoffs, whatever, if they're trying to get up, he's going to slow that pace. And for whatever reason, they got Russ on the team who doesn't know how to slow the pace. And I'm not blaming everything on Russ, but what they have to do is stagger him and LeBron. If you get LeBron out the game, you got Russ in the game, they can speed up the game then because some of the players are younger. Like Ariza, he's older. I don't know who else they got. Carmelo Anthony's older. So if those two players are in the game, you got to slow the pace. But if you can stagger their minutes, you can get Russ out with the second, maybe even the second team. But Russ ain't talking about coming off a bench at this moment. So you just got to stagger their play. Let Russ do what he do when he's in the game, and LeBron's not in the game. When LeBron's in the game with Russ, you have to run the show like LeBron wants to run the show. That's how you're going to get the best out of that team. And hey, we made it through. Got any questions? Put them in the comments. Please go over to Gates Open Water Media Group. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget about my guys over there at Sit in Politic Podcast. Like I'm going to always say, the guys helped me start my podcast up. So definitely run over there, like, share, subscribe, ask questions, a whole host of topics that they have over there. Check me out. And this is obviously sponsored by D-Mine's Music. We're going to have more music coming and chumming. Yep, that don't make any sense, but it's all right. Once again, Gates Open Water Media Group. Check me out, man. Help my channel grow. And with that being said, let's go to the outro. Y'all know how I do it.
What's up? Yeah.
Y'all know how I do it.
Been waiting a while.
Yeah. Y'all know how I do it.
Put this one right here. Yeah.
Anyway, shirts right there. You want a demo? Let me know. I'll show you how to make them. Demo for the shirt. The last 5 minutes is what we do. How you get crunk? Let me know how you get crunk off of slow music. That's what we do. Yeah.
Is my special lady waiting for love that's true? No waiting up down, no waiting around. Yeah. There is no prenup, just affectionate commitment. If you're out there listening, I'm calling you, girl.
Like I say, they don't make R&B music like this no more.
Said I'm searching for love. Lady, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I need a love face like till I'm finished. I won't stop till I find my lady. It's you. In and out relationships, left with memories past tense, yeah. So what do I do? I'm holding on. No, I let them go.
Hit up the Cash App. Yeah.
Yeah, she's still undiscovered. I refuse to quit now. I made it my vow.
Yeah, we're gonna have some guests on here too.
Said I'm searching. Have you seen her? Have you seen my baby? I'm ready for love. I need a love face like
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we end every show.
I'm gonna find my lady that's in need of love, baby. That's
Yeah. Hey, how you get crunk on some slow music like that? They don't make it like that no more.
I'm looking for. I don't wanna be all alone.
This is my cousin, man. Hey, sponsoring the show.
Here by my side. I need
Yeah. We don't even have to get no more music. I can vibe off this all night. All night.
I need a love face like till I'm finished. I won't stop till I find my lady. It's you.
Hey, so that's it though. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. We out.